Oh, hold on. For everyone. Okay. So, again, for this morning, we shall discuss the law on partnership and corporation. Now, as early as your senior high school and even junior high school, I guess the different forms of business organizations have already been discussed with you, right? Like for example, sole proprietorship, partnership, and this corporation. So we shall touch on all of these siguro in the succeeding discussions, but for this morning, we shall talk about partnership and corporation. Ano bang ibig sabihin natin no ng partnership at corporation na ito? And why is this included in the syllabus for legal aspects in tourism and hospitality? It is not stranger to you, and I can't emphasize this as much that you will soon to be managers in the tourism and hospitality industry. And as managers, you'll be dealing with several kinds of contract, and you will be inking partnerships with several entities, business organization, or both from public and private sector. If you have your book with you can open it on page 85. That's just supplementary material aside from the presentation for this morning. All right. So, on page 85 of your book, third year, if you may want to get your book po as your reference, 'di ba? There is a rationale part on page 85 of your book saying that in the future, student organization or students of tourism and hospitality industry may want to establish their own business. However, in establishing the same, there are a lot of things um, to consider, such as the capital and location, among others. But before going into the details, the form of business organization should be taken into consideration also. So bago pa papasok tayo sa pakikipartner ng ninyo sa iba't ibang sectors, you need to understand first what are these three known forms of business organizations. Okay, so when you say three known forms, when you say the known forms of business organization, the these are the what I've mentioned no earlier. That number one, you have sole proprietorship, number two, partnership, and number three, corporation. Just to give a short background about business organization, sole proprietorship is the oldest, simplest, and most prevalent form of business enterprise. It is an unorganized business owned by one person. The sole proprietor is personally liable for all the debts and obligations of the business. In fact, this is according to Excellent Quality Apparel versus Win Multi-Rich Builder in a case decided by the Supreme Court. No? That the sole proprietor is defined by law and by business as a form of organization that is independent and again the oldest, simplest, and most prevalent. What do you mean, class, by sole proprietorship in layman's term, no? Sole proprietorship. Ikaw ang nag-invest ng capital and you will also be the one to run your business. Sole proprietorship. Okay? You will not be needing other people. You will not be engaging into hiring several people. In fact, of course, depending on the kind of and nature of business you have, but basically you will run your business, no? You'll be the one to run your business. You'll be the one to incur all operational expenses, capital expenditures, and even liabilities. Okay, so yun ang sole proprietorship. Now, when you talk about the different obligations of sole proprietor, please refer to the next page of your book if you can. Number one, to secure license and business permits. Okay, so I think this is not stranger to all of you. I'll stop sharing muna, no? I think this is not stranger to all of you, no? Na isa sa pinaka-obligasyon ng sole proprietor is to secure the license and business permits. License to operate and also different clearances that need to be secured from the different government agencies. Because, as all you know, before you are allowed to before you are allowed to um what do you call this, to operate, before you're allowed to run your business legally, or before you have a legitimate business, you need to secure different permits and clearances from the local government unit, Department of Trade and Industry, etc. These are regulatory agency concerning on making sure that your business are operating legitimately. Okay? Number two, to register the business name. Of course, you need to register the business name from the local government unit, and of course to all other clearances and all other government entities that you will be dealing with, because again, these are requirements, no? Without this, you are not allowed to operate legally. Number three, it's also your obligation as sole proprietor to pay tax and to pay personally all debts and obligations of the business. If the business that you will be established, if you the business that you have established have incurred liabilities such as debts, loans, for instance, you will be the one also to incur that. You'll be the one to pay for that. Okay. So what is the advantages of sole proprietorship? Although the obligations may seem very heavy, no, it seems very pressure on the part of the sole proprietor. But on the other hand, you also have advantages. Like for example, solo enjoyment of profit. If you're the one who spent for the capital, for the operational expenses of the business, of course, all the profit that goes after the or during the operation of your business will be enjoyed only by you. Okay? So number two, the sole proprietor can decide to continue or to stop the operation of the business anytime. You are not dependent on anybody when when you discern upon closer look and analysis of the data of your business. For example, nakita mo na hindi na maganda ang negosyo and sobrang laki na ng nawawala sa'yo, you can decide alone whether you will be closing or shutting down your business. Okay? So, that's one of the advantages of sole proprietorship. Number three, low capitalization. Okay, and number four, filing of taxes is generally less complicated than corporation, because later on when you get to know what corporation is and the disparity between these three known organizations, you'll be um you may infer, no, na mas okay pala pag sole proprietor ka. Okay. So also we have the different disadvantages. So again, aside from advantages, you also have different disadvantages of sole proprietorship. Personally, you are personally liable to all debts and obligations and of the business. It's burdensome because all decisions and undertakings are to be carried out by the proprietor alone. This is what I'm talking about, no? Pag sobrang laki ng kapital mo, ikaw lang din yung mawawalan ng sobra-sobra kapag hindi lumago yung negosyo mo. Okay? And finally, limited ability to raise capital. Okay? So, those are the different disadvantages. Now, moving forward, yun ay for sole proprietorship. Pasok tayo class sa partnership and corporation. But of course, in the context of law. Okay? The law on partnership and corporation. What does partnership or um or where did it come from, no? The law on partnership is governed by the Civil Code of the Philippines, while the law on corporation is governed by Batas Pambansa Bilang 68, or the Corporation Code of the Philippines. Please remember this third year, no? That partnership, as far as the law on partnership is concerned, it is the Civil Code of the Philippines that enumerates significant provisions discussing partnership. Well, when we talk about law on corporation, it is Batas Pambansa Bilang 68, or known as today as the Corporation Code of the Philippines. Okay, so these are two distinct statutes or laws that discusses and provides provisions as far as partnerships and corporation is concerned. And please take note that partnership and corporations are two different business organizations. I hope we are clear on that. Okay. Now let's define um partnership in accordance with the Civil Code. Anong sabi ng Civil Code natin under Article 1767? Sabi ng Civil Code, Article 1767 provides that by the contract of partnership, two or more persons bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry to a common fund with the intention of dividing the profits among themselves. The definition of partnership is very clear. In fact, even if we have no knowledge of the law or technical knowledge of law, by just reading Article 1767, the definition is very clear. No? That partnership is composed of two or more persons. Okay? Hindi sinasabi ang partnership class dapat dalawa lang, no? Pwedeng mas madami pa sa dalawa. Ang element niyan, dapat these two or more persons bind themselves. Okay? When you say bind themselves, they commit themselves to the different terms and conditions of the contract. Okay? Bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry. We have three significant variables in the definitions. No? If you want to engage into partnership, you should contribute any of the three. You can contribute money, you can contribute property, you can contribute an industry to a common fund na pagmamayari yung lahat. Ano yung intention ng pagbibigay ng lahat? Divide the profits among themselves. So, balikan natin itong money, property, or industry. So, ano ibig sabihin nun, sir? Ang ibig po sabihin noon, pwede kang mag-donate ng money, yung pera, pwede ka ding mag-donate ng property lang, o even, i-share mo na yung industriya na meron ka. O kung halimbawa, you are the dominant in the industry, then you may want that partnership or that business to penetrate also the industry you are part of. Okay? So, tandaan nyo, hindi pwedeng pumasok sa partnership kung wala kang ibibigay sa tatlo. Lalo na sa money and property. No? Kaya nga even class marriage, no? Marriage is a partnership contract. Though it is not in the context of business, but by looking at the civil code, 'di ba? Kahit hindi nga eh. Pero pag tinignan mo ang konteksto, pag kinasal ka, you bind yourself to contribute these things, these variables. Now, partnership is an association, okay, of two or more persons to carry on as co-owners of a business for profit. Kung halimbawa ako, I want to establish a travel agency, tapos wala akong masyadong pera, hahanap ako ng partner ko sa negosyo, tapos kaming dalawa pagsasamahin namin yung pera namin so that we can establish that business. So you call both of us as partners in business. Okay? No, we are on equal footing. Halimbawa, yung isang tao, yung donate ang para ang sa kanya yung lupa na kinatatayuan noon at saka yung pagpapagawa ng facility. Yung tatlo naman, yung isa pangalawa namang tao, siya yung in charge ng pagbili ng mga supplies, something like that, no? So since the two of you or two or more of you will have contributions direct to the operations of the business, then you can call yourself co-owners of a business for profit. A partnership contract is based on trust and confidence. Okay? Trust and confidence. So you have to complement yourself if somebody wants to partner with you as far as business is concerned, because that is trust and confidence. There is trust and confidence. We also have what we call delectus personae. No one can become a partner in partnership, no, without the consent of all the partners. On page 88 of the book, it is more explained here, no? Dilectus personae. The doctrine of dilectus personae means no one can become a partner without the consent of all the partners. The very foundation of this doctrine is the fiduciary nature of the partnership. Thus, if one of the partners wants his son or his friend to join the partnership, the son or the friend cannot automatically be permitted to join the partnership even if they will add or contribute a large amount of capital. Under the doctrine of dilectus personae, the consent of all the partners in the partnership must be obtained to enable them to join the partnership. Ang daling intindihin, class. Dilectus personae, kahit kapaanak ng isa sa mga partners, kung walang approval ng lahat ng partners ng isang partnership, you cannot automatically become a member to that organization or to that business organization. Okay? Um, we have the different essential requirements as far as partnership is concerned. Number one, an agreement to contribute money, property, industry to a common fund. Number two, intent to divide the profits among themselves. These are the only two essential requisites. And if you can notice, these requisites, class, are also the definition. What makes the definition of partnership? It is an agreement to contribute property, money, and industry to a common fund with the number two, intent to divide the profits among themselves. So these are the requirements. If you join a partnership but you don't intend to divide the profit, then do not join any more partnership if you can't understand what it truly means. This can only be complied if A, each one of the partners bring or is obliged to bring something to the partnership. Okay? So, kapag nagdala ka na ng isang bagay, pera man yan or property, then you can become a partner with approval of all the partners in a partnership. Okay, it can only be complied also if it is brought becomes common or if that which is brought becomes common property. Ano man ang dadalhin mo sa partnership na yan, pag nagdala ka ng pera, property or property, magiging common property na siya. Paghahati-hatian na siya natin. Kaya we are all on equal footing when that comes. So what are the different advantages of forming a partnership? Number one, it is easy to form. Number two, it improved growth possibilities. And number three, freedom from bureaucracy. Okay, hold on. Okay, so these are the different advantages of forming a partnership. Okay, so please remember that, no? Um, Pag easy to form, kasi kung dalawa lang naman kayo mag-uusap, mas madali ang pag-uusap na mangyayari, no? Mas madali ang pangumbinsi at mas madaling mag-explain kung ano yung mga dapat na i-invest para matuloy yung negosyo na yan. Number two, improved growth possibilities. Since it is partnership, at nagkakaintindihan kayo, you can expand your business probably and then continue pursuing the operation of your company. Number three, freedom from bureaucracy. Wala na masyadong madaming kakailanganin pa, no, na dokumento, etc. On the other hand, we've also different disadvantages of forming a partnership, which includes instability. Diba? Hindi naman talaga stable eh. Malay mo yung isang partner mo, mag-decide na i-withdraw niya na yung share niya. So, papaanohin mo yon. Number two, difficulty in obtaining large sums of capital. Especially kung pareho kayo ng social status ng partner mo. So, mahihirapan ka din na mag-expand halimbawa, lalo na kung kukulangin din kayo ng capital. Number three, firm is tied with the acts and judgments of one partner as agent and difficulty in severing partnership ties. Okay. Let's move forward to a different classification of partnership. We have three classification. Number one, according to subject matter, which is divided into two categories: universal partnership and particular partnership. Okay, universal partnership and particular partnership. That's according to subject matter. Number two, according to liability, of general partnership and limited partnership. And according to duration, partnership for a fixed term. Sige. Okay. So sige, later I'll try to discuss all of these classifications of partnership. But let's move to the different forms of partnership. One, when it is stipulated. Number two, when immovable property or real rights are contributed. Number three, in case of limited partnerships, the parties must, wait lang forms of partnership when it is stipulated. What do you mean by that? Kung sa kontrata nyo nakalagay talagang partners kayo, then that is partnership. Okay, stipulated. It is expressed on the provision of the contract that exists. Number two, when immovable property like lupa, bahay are contributed. Partnership din yan. Ako na sa lupa, ako na sa ganito, basta partner nyo ako. Kung anong makukuha ninyo, ganun din ang share ko. Number three, in case of limited partnership, when we say limited, there are several restrictions or constraints to partnership. The parties must, number one, sign and swear to a certificate which shall state, among others, the name of the partnership, adding the word limited and the character of the business. So that's how particular contract is or documents are, no? That it should provide the word limited in order for it to become a legitimate limited partnership. B. File for the record the certificate in the Office of the Securities and Exchange Commissions. And failure to comply with the foregoing formal requirements will only make the partnership a general partnership. So basically, those are the things that um you need to know as far as the law and partnership muna is concerned. Partnership muna, law and partnership is concerned.